Hello, everyone. It's Laura from Divine Light Yoga. Something that I'm always asked is how long should a children's yoga class be? And this is really dependent on the age of the children, the time of day, I would say, and also where you're teaching yoga. So firstly, for the younger children, so definitely the toddlers, 3 and 4 year olds, they obviously they get tired, eat more easily. They obviously have less ability to be able to concentrate and focus. So it is quite a more fast moving pace yoga class than say the teenagers. So for the younger children, so 2 to 4 years old, the ideal time is 30 minutes. But I always think it depends where you're teaching. If you're going into a school, a 30-minute session is great. You can do that as part of the curriculum or as part of a special event. But if the parents are bringing the children to a yoga studio, then they will expect more than 30 minutes. It's a lot of difficulty and hassle, a lot of challenges to get the younger children out of the house, and they're probably less likely to do that if they're only coming for a 30-minute class. So if you're working with the 2 to 4 year olds, then you probably, in a yoga studio, you probably want your class to be 40 or 45 minutes. I think anything over 45 minutes for children below the age of 5 is just too much. You start to see they're having meltdowns, they're getting really tired, they have, a real lack of concentration. They really need to get honestly out of the room and into a new environment. So for the 2 to 4 year olds, the ideal time, I would say, is 20 to 30 minutes if you're doing it at home, or if you're doing it online, or if you're going into a school to do it with them as part of the curriculum. If you're doing it in a yoga studio, then for the 2 to 4 year olds, 40 to 45 minutes. Then for the slightly older children, so 5 years old to maybe 8 years old, 45 minutes is a great time for them. You can get a lot. You can teach them a lot within that. You can do all elements of yoga. And by 45 minutes, they're kind of ready to leave and move on to something else. And then once you get to 8 years plus, definitely 60 minutes is a great time. They are more than capable of being within the group, being within the room for 60 minutes, staying focused on your yoga and meditation class. Then if you're working with teens and you have the opportunity, I always suggest doing some longer workshops. So it could be 90-minute or 2-hour long workshops. But within this time, you're doing lots of different elements of yoga. You might be focusing on one aspect. So let's say restorative yoga for teen anxiety. And you would be doing, lots of a long shavasana, longer restorative poses, spending a lot of time on the breathing techniques, doing some mindfulness and journaling. So you can really spend a lot of time going deeper into those practices with the teenagers if you have 90 minutes or 2 hours. Also, if you're doing workshops with this age group, you might want to do a more challenging poses or more fun, playful poses with them, in which case you might do a handstand workshop and you spend 90 minutes really focusing on preparing their body, getting them to understand the technique, doing some partner yoga and really doing it in a playful but energizing way. And of course, ending with a really nice long shavasana, a much longer shavasana than you can do if you only have 60 minutes with teenagers. So they are the timings that I would suggest for the different age groups. But I would love to know, how long are your children's yoga classes and what has been your experience? So comment below and let me know. And of course, I will respond to your comment, but I would love to hear from you.